Okay, we'll call the July 27th Airport Commission meeting to order. Have a roll call.
Neil Johnson,
Here.
Greg Collier, Andrew Barker, Joel Gardner, Steve Smith.
Here.
Bill Schoonover.
Here.
Greg Willoughby.
Here.
And no minutes, be next month. Comments from the audience. Anybody have anything to offer? If not, we'll move on to James on the airport commission, on the airport operation report. Sorry about that.
No problem. Everything's going good. We've got a guy moving out of our T-hangar number 3 building, but I've got another guy waiting to go in as soon as he's out, so that keeps that hangar full. As far as our hangar renters, everybody's pretty current other than our standard late people. And I was speaking with the city attorney, deputy city attorney, and she had a court case today, so she couldn't come present anything. But she did email me asking for a few contact information for our late renters. They installed our new power doors yesterday, so they're all up and running and really nice on the east side of the terminal building. Makes it a lot nicer to come and go into the ramp.
Good. Have to get
Quiet too, aren't they?
Very quiet.
They're belt driven, I noticed that, which make them a lot quieter.
Have to get out there and look at it.
And I talked to several pilots on the field, and they're all very interested in having that button for the gates rather than have to roll the window down every time they pull up to them. So I didn't throw any numbers out there because I wasn't for sure what we was going to charge, but they know they'd cost something for the remote.
What's our cost?
$35, I believe.
And how many did we decide we needed?
We haven't come to that conclusion.
What's your,
I would say
estimate?
not to start with over 40, probably to start, because they're real easy to get, so there's no point in having a whole bunch on hand.
why don't we order them, and in the process, while they're coming to decide what our program will be with them. That way we got them on hand, we don't have, and the poll is gonna be the amount of people that take them.
Right.
And if they're willing to pay, I would cover the cost of them in case they lose them or
Right.
in that regard, but we also have the issue of did we discuss how difficult it was to change the frequency to where we can disable all of them and reprogram periodically, where they would have to maybe bring them in, contact you to get them reprogrammed? Have you checked into that?
Have not.
There should be a simple solution for that.
I would think with everything nowadays, everything's digital, so it should be fairly simple to change.
I was thinking.
I know every fob I've ever been associated with, they change them periodically. They change the code. You just surrender it and they hand it back to you.
Right.
I was just curious about that, where if someone ran off with it, we couldn't get it back if we could disable an individual one. Because if somebody left and,
Well, you got the serial numbers, and we could check on to see what our options would be
Yeah.
on that.
Right.
That might be the simplest.
Not really much different than them knowing the code to the gate.
well, that's true. But,
Whenever we change the code to gate, we ought to change the frequency
yeah,
at the same time.
I would say cover that, and I'm in favor of going ahead and getting 40 coming or something of this nature. So, you know, what's your thoughts on it?
Now the keypads will, the keypads will still be functional as well. Is that correct? You've got the option?
Correct.
right.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah, for the ones that doesn't want the push button.
Do we need to make a motion, or?
We're ready if you would like.
I'd like to have one.
I'll make a motion, we get 40 deals ordered and let's get this thing started.
Yeah.
Order 40 key fobs.
I'll second.
Have a roll call.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Schoonover,
Yes.
Willoughby.
Yes,
Who seconded that motion?
I did.
I heard it down there and didn't say, okay.
I wanted to ask you too, on Gary Howard, he's the most delinquent. Have you had trouble getting hold of him? I know it was his secretary or something that usually who you talk to, but.
Yeah, I assume it's his wife that we're talking to, and she thought she was current. the last time I spoke with her, so she was supposed to be getting current. She got in contact with the deputy city attorney, so.
Because they've consistently for years been, I don't know how she could think she was current.
Right.
Okay, you got anything else about, it's under your heading here about the discussion concerning closing T hangers. We talked about that a little bit last month. And again, what's our occupancy there in the last one?
It's full. I've got one guy that's moving out at the end of the month. I've got another guy moving back in.
I think, I know when we had the wind damage there, that I got very concerned about our design. And James and I and others looked at that pretty close. Now, we've had some strong winds since, and it was just there was no way they weren't going to fail, the way they were installed. And
Previously,
pardon me?
before they were updated.
Before they were updated, yes. I mean, and it wasn't anything that was egregious in the sense that, I mean, it was just an honest oversight on everybody's part.
Sure.
And the builders, installers stepped up to the plate, and the engineers who designed the system came up with the solution. Now, I guess what I'm concerned about, if we move forward on closing another T hanger, are we going to look at this same system again? Are we trusted enough to look at it? And I think they have already agreed that there was a reversal on the way those were installed. In other words, they needed to be, the middle door needed to be on the opposite side, which is just simply an installation feature. So I would certainly like to move forward with whatever we can do to set this in motion toward, whether it be this year, next year, or whenever, to get this thing in the mill for a grant to do it with the state. Because we were successful with this one, and we've only got 2 more, right? And so we get another one enclosed. So, Adam, do you have something to offer to that?
Yeah, I would just, ooh, that's loud. As a reminder, the state's fiscal year just ran over, so you have a clean slate on grants. The PAPI grant we got was on last fiscal year, so you've got a 90-10 state grant with a $150,000 cap on it available. And so, like our thought process with the PAPI grant, it doesn't hurt to have one down there waiting. And we were successful on that, so I mean, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want to get something in front of the state, personally.
We have anything else that's pressing, that's important?
We've got everything.
That last cost us, what was 90,000?
Just
Right,
under.
90,000. I think this
gonna go
contractor will probably want to, they've already expressed doing it again, they want to make a little better. Let me back up. The floors in those are asphalt, and they are very unlevel. So I know what they're going to want to do. They're going to want to cut that out and pour concrete across that track area.
Mm-hmm.
So we could probably, estimate to be safe right now, to be talking in round numbers of $100,000 to do it. And we can get them back involved and see what their time frame would be and everything. But first of all, how soon do you think we could get an answer on a grant? The time frame of
They're probably
that?
going to want a concrete price.
Pardon me?
They're probably going to want a set price from the contractor before we,
And I know that's like the chicken and egg, but we will get in contact with them and see offer them a time frame, because once they bid this thing, they want to know that, a certain time frame. So I'm just trying to get some, I guess I'm reversing it, but
Yeah, so your grant applications are due at the end of every month for the next month's meeting. So for instance, let's say you got a grant in before the 31st of this month, it'll be on their August agenda, and they meet every month. And so if you probably want to get some good numbers from a contractor, so what you're looking at is probably in August, getting those numbers. By August 31st, if there's 31 days in August, you'd have your grant submitted, and then you'd be on the September agenda. And then it's just, if they have the money in September, you got a chance then. If not, it goes to October. If not, November. And there's usually not a meeting in December. So you've got 3 months there, September, October, November, 3 shots to get a grant through the commission.
So if we could get a proposal good till the first of the year, would be a good situation, right?
Yeah, that'd give you 3 months to try to hit a meeting.
I move that we proceed and get a bid.
And I would like for the contractor to take a look at any other door options, or if we do have a second door option, just to be comfortable, or if there's anything new on the market or anything like that, given what happened, just while they're doing it, if there are other options for the
You're
for the
saying
door.
if we, just jump up a scale, jump up a notch.
If that's feasible, or it may not be, but there may not be any options, but if there are, we'd like to know what they are.
Well, the only thing there's only 3 types of doors or materials I've seen used, and it's composite, it's steel, and it's aluminum. The aluminum skin is not a problem regardless. Now we're just talking about the frame. And the thing the aluminum doesn't have, you can argue strength all day long on aluminum, and they'll try to tell you that, or they'll tell you what the strength per weight and all of that. But about the only thing you could change that would make it seem to the average person to be a better system would be a steel frame rather than the aluminum. And that brings in other issues. But that's certainly a good point, and ask them, and we can do that. We can see just how far can you go with this and see what you'd recommend. But in this case, we could also say, but if you did repeat what you had, what would you do? What would you suggest that we do to upgrade it? Such as, I would recommend highly just cutting that out and pouring a strip of concrete, roughly 2 or 3 feet wide down through there, and make sure it's level. And that will add some cost, because you got 8 openings to do it. And then see what the options were. Do we need that all in a motion, or just we proceed toward the door?
Well, I made a motion that we proceed to get a bid, and I would expect that in talking to the contractor, you would give us options.
Well, we can go with other contractors also. We just know that these people did us a bang-up job, and even though they failed with that instance, they stepped up to the plate. They didn't run from it. They said, yes, we installed them wrong. And I don't know how the insurances took it from that, and so I don't know how that came out. I know apparently everybody's happy, are they not? So no damage. I was just sick when I saw that. I mean, it was horrible in that regard. But so we have a motion to proceed.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any more comment, Bill, or anything? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Smith,
Yes.
Schoonover,
Yes.
Willoughby,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Okay, I think it's a good deal. I would like to attend that meeting when we make this presentation down at there in Otterville. I want to hear them brag on us like they did the last time. Okay, moving to number 6, Wyman.
Fuel purchases are up the last 2 months, been pretty high at the airport. Operations are continuing to remain high. The financial report this time is 2 pages, because I don't recall who it was, but asked to see the cash balance. So you've got your income statement on the first page. Second page.
So this is showing us with $226,000 in the bank
At point in time, yes.
at that point in time.
But
And,
you-
and our income and outgo is only $1,200 difference, so
Well,
it ought to be
not-
holding fairly close.
Well, depending on what we've got going on, if we get this state grant, we'll have to pay for
Sure.
100% of it before we get reimbursed.
I got you.
If you look back on the back, we have one year we spent 40,000 more than we collected, and getting 20, so it fluctuates.
Right. But I'm referenced today, though we haven't got the grant, we're not doing that. But that's,
You're in
this is monies that are available for us to consider usage of.
Right.
Okay,
Well, keep in mind, we committed 20,000 to the Pepe
yeah,
out of that, right?
yeah.
You're in the best financial shape you've been in 17 years.
I was gonna say, I've never seen it this good.
At least it's in black.
Yeah.
Okay, what can you tell us about Kathy Franklin?
Said it'd been a while since she'd been up to visit our airport, and we're fixing to start these projects with the runway and the taxiway and everything, and time out of the office, so she's scheduling to come visit our airport and do a walk around and look at it.
Are anyone going to meet with her there from the,
I'm gonna meet her at the airport. Adam's gonna be there, and James, and one commissioner can be there,
where are we meeting?
For a week.
building.
In the terminal
What-
building? You have a
what day-
time?
What day is that?
August the 2nd?
I'm gonna be out of town. I'd love to meet her, but
What day is that?
that would be a Wednesday, I think.
Yes, that's a Wednesday. Yeah. I'm gonna be
Next
out.
Wed- when
I'm
next
gonna be
Wednesday?
Next
out all
Wednesday.
next week too.
And
What
I'm out
time?
all next week.
9 a.m.?
Got it on your calendar?
So they're meeting at 9 a.m. next Wednesday at the airport?
At the airport, yes.
Yes.
Be good for some of us to talk to her, but
If more than one commissioner's gonna come, I need to know that, because I'll have to notify the press.
I'll be there.
so there's two.
I'll make it, so you can just,
We just send a notice to the press that we're gonna be out there and that we're clear. They got a fast vehicle, they wanna drive down the runway?
You know, Rick might do it again for us.
I got a hot rod. I'd run
I
all
can,
over.
how many seats do we need?
Take your Corvette.
Or my Jeep's too small. You want to try to set Rick up again from the,
oh,
Everett?
he's out of commit, oh, from Everett.
he came up there,
He's not feeling well right now, he might not
I started to
wanna
say
do
he's
it.
out of commission right now for a little bit.
Rick Evans?
I was thinking Rick Culver.
No, Rick Evans. He met with us the last time and.
Oh, yeah, and brought the
Maybe
van
he could
out.
get
He'll
you a
bring
Hellcat Charger.
He'll bring a courtesy van up from Everett. You want to try that?
We need something faster than that.
I'll get
Pardon
Rose
me?
to mention to him and
Faster
see.
than a van.
Oh, to go down the runway?
Yeah.
Oh, we're wanting something to, how fast do you want to go?
Fast enough to fill that hump in the road, that runway.
put
that
her
that
in it?
Jet keeps complaining about.
And put her in the car?
Sure.
Okay,
Put her two-wheel trailer behind it.
well, we could, shoot someone's a Corvette.
I can get whatever we need.
Get a Corvette, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Do it that way.
Yeah, we need it for next Wednesday.
Okay.
Or I can get one of those hot rod Dodges, if
Yeah,
Corvette, either way.
that'd be
you
good.
know.
Get one of those Hellcat Chargers, and then all of you can ride.
Now we're getting up
Yeah,
there.
you got room for 4 people.
4 people and.
You don't
and-
need 4 people, just
Well,
put her in it.
you might have to make 2 passes.
I'm sure you can get a lot of people to drive it.
You gonna put her in it?
You what?
You gonna put her in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard about that bump forever, and I've never felt it.
I haven't either.
I haven't when I've landed, but
He must have felt
Okay,
it.
he's got it. Let him come talk about it.
Tell him to come up to the mic.
Okay, come on up to, would you mind stepping up?
I'm Walt Honeycutt, Director of Operations for Air Resource Group and Chief Pilot for Miss Janelle Hunt.
Okay.
If it helps put some attention on those speed bumps from our friends at FAA, I'd be more than happy to take 512 Juliet Bravo out with as many folks as you'd like to come, and we can do a series of high-speed taxis, and you can see exactly what we're up against every
So we put it
departure
on
and
an
every
airplane.
landing. Yeah.
That's the
We've
way
got-
to do it.
We've got 8 seats plus a belted jump seat in the Falcon 50, so I can work through James. If you guys would like to explore that possibility, I would be more than happy to put our aircraft at your disposal.
That's the way to do it.
That's the
Yeah.
way to do it. Now you got the real thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
perfect.
I'll let you guys discuss this.
No.
James, do you want to, we'll follow
Coordinate
up after
that.
the meeting?
Okay, I'll
Okay.
get back in touch with
Be
you.
Wednesday.
Thanks, Walt.
That is great.
That's really good.
Okay, we got that set up. Any old business?
Grant that
Butterfly.
we've got for the runway and everything has to be approved by the city council. They approved it, they accepted it Tuesday night,
Saw that.
so it's been signed and everything.
What's the story on the butterflies, other than just showing us what they're gonna do?
I think we forwarded email out to you that they're wanting to install it toward the end of September.
They're going to be on the city side or the airport side?
On the side of it's the airport side, but it
I
should be
mean-
facing the trail.
That's what
So
I
it
mean.
should be
Be the west
facing
side.
the
West side.
Yeah, I saw it,
Okay.
and I forgot about it.
That's what I was going to ask.
I thought there may be something in here.
Okay.
Any comments from the commissioners?
The Powell Street sign is up, operational. Would encourage anybody that hasn't to drive by, maybe especially in the evening, take a look at it, after dark.
Looks good.
It does look good. I think the signs out on the corner of 265 and 412 will be helpful. They are, pretty easy to see. I think,
They're more visible than I ever thought they would.
I think they look good, too.
I had my doubts about it, but you're sitting there at that, my wife noticed them right off the bat.
So did mine.
You're sitting there at the stoplight and you see that thing.
and you can actually, the letters are big enough, if you look closely, you can kind of read some of the directional, instructions if needed. But I think they get the job done, and in particular, the one on Powell Street. I would still like to try to do something, maybe even on in after school starts, to acknowledge, what the kids did and see if we can get the press out there. And maybe we can do it in conjunction with the butterfly activity or something. And
Meet at the sign?
yeah, at the sign, if we're gonna do the butterfly, maybe we can do the sign too, and, get a little, press for it.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything else? Anybody? If not, we'll adjourn. That's enough.